You must have heard the name NATO. It is a military alliance of European countries and the United States. This group was established in order to counteract communist Russia's influence and safeguard European countries from its aggressive ambitions. This group was established in 1949 to advance democratic principles against communism. In a sense, this organization marked the start of the Cold War. Let's talk about NATO in this video. Welcome back, friends.
Following World War II, Russia was an ally of the United States, Britain, and France. However, following the war, these countries became concerned that Russia might attempt to apply communist ideas to the European countries and has the will to do so. They were also at risk that he would invade European countries and pursuit of his expansionist aim. It could lead to the start of another war in Europe. France and Great Britain would remain hesitant about Germany and worried that it would once more pose a threat to them. During this time, the majority of the states of Eastern Europe that are today independent countries were also once a part of the Soviet Russia. This indicates that Soviet Russia had military influence throughout Europe and was the continent's dominant military power.
First, in 1947, Great Britain and France made an agreement that they would help each other in case of an attack by Germany or Russia. The next year, in 1948, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg also became part of this alliance. This alliance was named Brussels Treaty Organization because the agreement was made in the city of Brussels, Belgium. In 1949, the United States, Canada, Norway, Italy, Portugal, Denmark, and Iceland also joined it to make this alliance more stable and strong, and it was called the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. NATO was given a name, and these initial 12 countries are called the founding members of NATO.
Today, the number of NATO allies is 30, meaning 18 more countries had joined it. Apart from the 30 regular members of NATO, there are also partner countries that cooperate with NATO and NATO with these partner countries when necessary. Turkey and Greece joined the alliance in 1952. After the 12 original founding countries of 1949. In 1955, the victorious countries of World War II, Great Britain, France, and the United States, united West Germany, which was also under their control, joined this alliance. East Germany was then controlled by the Soviet Union. In 1982, Spain also joined the alliance. Spain also joined this alliance.
The Warsaw Pact was established by Russia and its 7 other communist states in 1955 in response to NATO itself. Russia had previously tried hard to unite the whole of Europe and unite all European countries into a single union, regardless of whether they were communist or capitalist. However, France, Great Britain, and the United Republics did not accept Russia's proposal. And so Russia and other communist Eastern European states joined together to sign the Warsaw Pact. Apart from Russia, East Germany, Albania, Hungary, Bulgaria, Poland, Romania, and Czechoslovakia were included in this agreement. During this period, Czechoslovakia was a single country.
Notable works of NATO so far. Number 1. In September 2001, Article 5 was invoked for the first time in response to the attack on United States, and 50 NATO members and partner countries began military operation in Afghanistan. It was the largest and longest operation in NATO's history, with a total of 130,000 NATO forces at one time. Number 2. In Iraq in 2004, NATO also provided its services in the name of training and peacekeeping of the Iraqi army, and this training mission ended in 2011. The forces of 12 NATO allies participated in this mission. They were deployed here in a very small numbers, and this operation was only a training mission, as in Afghanistan, NATO countries did not formally approve military operations in Iraq. Number 3. In October 2005 earthquake in Pakistan, NATO also helped Pakistan in relief work.
NATO allies have also built a complete missile system in Europe under the Ballistic Missile Defense System. which is apparently in the name of defense, but Russia has serious reservations about it. Number 5. NATO also has a common ground surveillance system under which land, air and naval surveillance of allied countries' territories is being carried out at all time, so that timely action can be taken in case of an attack. Number 6. NATO is also working on creating a joint intelligence of its allied countries to make this alliance more effective in the future. Number 7. In 2011, NATO also conducted air operations against Libyan forces following a UN request to rescue civilians, the purpose of which, according to NATO, was to protect civilians from the Libyan army.
The troops of some members represent a very modest part of NATO's standing forces. Each member country has a representative at the NATO headquarters in Brussels. The North Atlantic Council is the most important organization of NATO, in which significant decisions are made. This organization is headed by Secretary General of NATO. All decisions are made by consensus. Therefore, once the decision is reached by consensus, all the members have to accept it. If a military operation is decided, the member countries voluntarily send their forces according to their capabilities, and after the end of the mission, those forces go back to their own countries. Expenses for routine office and political affairs are met from a common fund to which all members contribute according to a fixed formula. But when there is a military mission, the cost is calculated by all countries in mutual consultation. But richer countries tend to spend more and send more troops. But if a military action occurs as a result of Article 5, then all countries are obliged to contribute to the funds.
Dear friends, how much this defense and political alliance have benefited Western Europe and America in economic and defense terms. You can see by comparing the conditions of its member countries since the establishment of this alliance with the current situation. At least Germany, France and Great Britain, which were completely destroyed and economically indebted after World War II, are today the most prosperous and powerful countries, and all three countries are among the top 10 economies of the world. The Union of Soviet Russia has not only disintegrated, but the communist states have either become capitalist or economically weak. Even Russia is not as strong as these countries economically. Yes, however, in terms of defense, Russia is still a great force.
According to defense analysts, even now, NATO countries cannot compete with Russia in terms of defense without the US, since their defense capacities are not strong as their economic ones, and they rely heavily on the United States. France once defensively withdrew from the NATO alliance in 1966 under President Charles de Gaulle, because he believed that France's defense force should not be under the influence of anyone, but France will be stronger by remaining independent. In the same period, the headquarters of NATO was moved from Paris to Brussels. France began to participate in NATO affairs again in the 90s. Similarly, Iceland, which is a member of NATO, does not have a regular army. There are only police forces and coast guards, but it is also benefiting from this alliance, and the US is responsible for its protection under this treaty.
Hope you enjoyed today's video.
That's it for today. Bye for now.